Well, hello, it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors. It has been a while, I know. I'm sorry. Most of you know, if you watch me, that I've been busy. I had to go and help my mom after her fall, and then, just stuff. I've been home for a while, but lots of things have been just kind of going on. And so I finally have a minute and desire, because sometimes that goes, doesn't it? And so I've been sitting here and I caught a video and I noticed the hashtag scrap, what is it? Let me look real quick. Of course I'm not going to find it. Why would I find it? The scrappy one. The scrappy one, you guys. You know it's right, tip of my tongue. Give a scrap. The hashtag give a scrap. It's been going around for a long time, and maybe it isn't, maybe it's stopped at this point, but I was tagged, and so Marcy at Creators Call tagged me, so I figured I should probably make good on that finally. So that's what I'm doing today. I am going to show you my scrappy mess before I show you what I've been doing with my scrappy mess. Okay, so I took my phone off my little holder and I'm going to slowly move over here to show you a pile. So I've got quite a pile. I was taking colors that I thought would go with what I'm going to be working with. So, and it's kind of thick. There's lots of stuff underneath this top. And then over here, I have a pile of things up here that they become scraps when you cut them off, so I've got those things to work with. I'm going to be working with those during the process of making a journal out of that book. I took the book apart about 2 months ago and then had to leave. So, and then here are a bunch of scraps I've been digging through. I kind of keep scraps of a paper pack within the paper pack when I can. It's just the way I organize it so that my scraps don't overwhelm me just being in one big container. Of course, there's some more under there. All right, so again, I'm making a journal out of that book and some digitals that I got from Anton, and I'll show those in probably my next video. So I'm going to slowly put you guys back in the holder. Well, I'm going to turn you off, then I'm going to do it. Okay, so for this video, you guys have seen it before, but maybe you forget, what do you do with a big scrap? Like this is a scrap. What do you do with a big scrap? Well, let's do something with the big scrap. I'm making pages. I had something to put right here. What did I do with it? It was there. I was cleaning up a little bit. Maybe it's just this and I hadn't done it yet. Okay, so what I was doing for this page, I have this that I took scrapbook paper and I made a page, but then when you open it up, it's white on the inside and I don't want it to be white. So I'm choosing from my scraps and I'm going to cover that white page. Let's see here. I had a pencil. I had a pencil somewhere. There it is. I see a pencil mark here and I don't want that on there. Okay. So we're going to start by covering, I want these kind of on the bottom and this one covering the two smaller pieces. I'm going to cut these torn edges off just so that there's not a funky texture underneath. Maybe there wouldn't be, but maybe there would be. And And there are some little tricks you can do when you're doing this sort of thing. You can make little pockets. So maybe we'll do that with this right here. I think what we'll do is we'll just cut from this scrap. We're going to cut one the same width as this scrap. So let's just mark that real quick. And then we'll cut it. Of course, making more scraps. It really is never ending. I looked at, you know, the pile that I just showed you over there. I think I'm going to just sit. I'm going to make tags until there is not another scrap to be seen. And then do I do it? No, I don't. But I think I should. Let's see. I'm going to just figure out what color I want up. I think, do I want it like that? See how it's bringing the colors in of this little guy over here? Or do I want that? I really don't think it matters, but I'm gonna do this one. So I'm gonna glue this one down first, and I'm going to just use some fabric glue to do that. So yeah, you guys, I had been at my mom's house after, so if you haven't seen or heard or whatever, you know, from videos that I posted before I left, my mom fell again and this time broke her hip and her wrist, this area, I think. And well, you know, she kept not getting a real solid answer from x-rays, so what did she break? She broke something in there. It's kind of scary when you're not getting good answers from the hospital even, but I digress. So she was in a nursing home, so there was, you know, not much I could do there. And then when she came home, I went to hang out with her as needed. And so I'm back now, have been for a while. Okay, you guys, before I glue this down, I'm thinking, so here's one of the things you can do. While you're making a page, you're covering a page, you could turn something into a pocket. So this is gonna be like a little narrow pocket. And so that I get my little, I'm gonna do a thumb punch so that it's kind of obvious that that's what it is. So I don't wanna make my thumb punch in the middle of this whole thing. So that would be over here, which would look funny when you go to cover it up, right? So I'm going to make a little mark, and then I'm going to put my thumb punch in between the two. And let me grab one real quick. I organized all of my little punches, so maybe I can find one quickly. Here's one. So been home for quite a while, and my mom is doing pretty well. She's getting around okay, and you know, there wasn't a whole lot more for me to do other than just sit there with her. So I came home. All right, so that looks funny, but once it's all down, I think it'll be fine. And this was an envelope, so the paper's thick enough. I think it's fine. We're going to just glue it down as a pocket, even though it's gonna overlap and the pocket's not gonna be quite this big. Well, I'll just do this. We'll just do it that way. Hopefully that's pretty good. But after I came home, then my daughter came home for spring break. I don't know, it's been so long. I can't believe how long it's been since I made a video. So my daughter was home for spring break. And so I didn't make any videos while she was home for spring break. I don't think I did anyway. And then just to kind of make this stand out a little bit, we're going to ink around it. And then my daughter went back, and my grandbaby came and visited us for a whole week, you guys. She's the sweetest. Oh my goodness. She was so adorable. And the last time she was here at Christmas time, or just before Christmas time, she was sick. And so even though she was still really good, she was very cranky, and her mom was like, you guys, she's never like this. Now I could actually make this a pocket too. I could. Should I? I mean, why not? Just for fun? Because then, you know, why not? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this. I mean, it's using more scraps because this is one of the scraps I was going to be using. So I was going to be using it just as a reinforcer because that's not real heavy paper. So let's see here. So we're going to just cut that down. Doggone, another scrap. And then we'll cut it in half. How big is this? It's 2 inches. So let's go 1 inch. Anyway, so she came to visit and stole our hearts, the sweetest little girl. So during the time she was here, I didn't want to make any videos. And then she went home and I don't know, we had maybe a week or something like that. And then we had more family coming into town. So they just left this morning. It's been like one thing after the next. So here I am, finally sitting down and trying to get busy on something. You know, really deciding even if I had it in me. It's crazy how, excuse me, how you just kind of get out of the habit and you don't know how to start again. Been doing yard work also in between everything. I feel like I want this just a little bit, the ink to be kind of farther into the page because it's kind of bright. So this covers up a white page if you're like me and you're like, oh no, what do I do with that white page? You have a scrap and then a pocket and a pocket. So let's go ahead and, I probably should have inked that, and I still can, just to make it more obvious even. Let's see, I'm going to put just a little bit more glue. I don't want it to be like a real deep pocket maybe. Before I do that, you know what I'll do? I'll just do, what will I do? I have some dark, here's some dark stuff, so it won't be as obvious. We have a really windy day outside today. All right, that'll be fine. We had crazy rain and wind yesterday. Okay. So then we have, I'm just gonna find something. So we have a little pocket here and we have a pocket here. So that's kind of cool. And then, come on, Stephanie. You know, writing, this writing and writing and writing. So there's one way to use up really big scraps. And then on this side, I was going to do the same thing. I wasn't going to make a pocket out of it this time though. So let me just cut this off. And, you know, mix and match. It doesn't have to be, you know, it's totally different than these ones, but that's okay. And I could cover it and make this a flip out right here for more writing, but I'm going to make it a long pocket again. Well, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't, because I've got one on this side. I've got one on the other side of this. Maybe I won't. Maybe we'll cover it with some writing. Let's see, where's the fold? I'm gonna need to find something to cover that whole thing, and then something for here. I was not prepared for that. Panic mode. This is when I hit panic mode, when I don't really have a plan. So I thought, though, I've been using scraps to do a lot in here. So once I'm done with this, don't go away, because I want to show you how I used a whole bunch of smaller pieces to kind of do the same thing. Doesn't have to be fabric glue, you know, that you use. You can use whatever. It doesn't warp the pages as much, but you know, whatever you want to use. Sometimes I like to do some stitching, and I'll show you where I've done some of that. So what will I use? Let me see. See, and I'm also trying to do things that are like that go color-wise. So there's those colors are all in here. I meant to use this one. I didn't want the tail end of that bird. Whoopsie. That's okay. Let's see now. I have some, oh, doggone you guys. Unfortunately, I have a thing of like coffee dyed paper scraps. And it's pretty full. I don't know. I feel like maybe that's not going to go real well, though. It seems like maybe I should do something. Well, I could do something like this, because there's already this. I should do that, shouldn't I? Because, well, a couple reasons. I don't have to think about it. It's already there. I've got some more scraps down here. What's this? Let's just do this so that I don't have to fuss. Okay, so I need a page, you know, a piece big enough to do this. And it's going to go into the corner here. And since it's going into the corner and I'm going to be covering it with something that's coffee dyed, I'm going to go ahead and ink this so that it's not like this bright white line showing. This was something that was gifted to me a long time ago. One of my subbies, I don't know that she watches. Oh, I'm positive she doesn't watch anymore. Well, if she does, she never comments. So, but she was really good. She sent me quite a bit, and she did an amazing job of her coffee dyeing. And, you know, she told me videos that she watched. This was a long time ago, so don't ask me which videos those are. And I went and I watched them, and still mine didn't turn out like hers. And I'm pretty sure this is like my very last sheet of this particular design that she did such a good job on. Let's see, I want this way because this is like the edge and it's a little bit distorted, you know, kind of. That'll be pretty. All right. I think on that distorted edge, I'm going to use some art glitter glue. It holds more quickly than this does. I'm making a mess. I'm also kind of trying to hurry because this is already longer than I thought it would be. So had a family wedding over the weekend. My nephew got married. It was really cute. Sweet girl that he married, and he's real sweet too. He started crying and everything when, you know, he was saying his vows. It's so sweet to see. Fun wedding. And then, man, it's been lots and lots and lots going on, just day after day after day lately. And my husband's always like, well, did you want to do anything? Did you want to do anything? You know, during the day I'm at home. He's at home. He works, but he can take off if he needs to. And I'm just like, no, I've been running around for days. What seems like actually for weeks. So I'm good not going anywhere. So I'm kind of wondering, I was thinking just to put this on there, but I feel like I don't want to. I was thinking I might do, I'm wondering if that needs to be just a little bit shorter so that that's a little bit bigger. I don't know, but I was thinking to do, I have these scraps. And they're double-sided, so I was gonna see if there was something in here I could use that goes, but I don't know that any of these colors are really gonna go. And I'm trying not to cut a big full sheet. That would probably go, but I don't want to cut a big full sheet and make more scraps. So I'm gonna say no on that. Maybe something that's solid. What do I have in here? Look, I have a full thing. But it's kind of boring. This side is that, which is kind of cool. But you can't write on it. I could make it a pocket. Let's do that. Okay. So, are you guys in camera? Yeah. So I just need to cut this down. Was I going to shorten this? Does it look like it needs to be shortened a little bit? Or maybe I shouldn't worry about it. Just do it. Just do it. So hopefully this is, let's see. I'm going to follow this line and hope that it ends up okay. I was following that, you know, that line. It kind of ended up okay, kind of. And then just cut here. So my daughter is going to be home from college soon. It's crazy that she's, you know, finished up her first year already in about a week. She wants to rent an apartment for next year. So we've been trying to figure that out. Let's see, I think I'm going to do glue on this one. Regular glue. But she'll be home for a little while and then going back to get into an apartment. Crazy. My little girl getting an apartment. That's just not even right. How does that happen, you guys? I don't know. Once you get these things down, you can kind of trim around if something's kind of hanging over or doesn't quite line up, you can always trim. It's pretty okay. There's a little bit of white hanging off the edge right here, but it's not too bad. And then you can find another, like something to make a pocket, you know, here, but I'm gonna not do that right now. So there's that. And then this is another one of the signatures that I used pieces and pieces, a full bit, and then a full one. There are pieces here. I'll show you in a minute how I did these. Pieces here. There are pieces here. There's a little flip out there. I could have made that a pocket, but I didn't. I sewed, you know, down. And there are just pieces. Oh no, you guys, I have another white one. Okay, well, we're not going to do that one together. I'll figure that out. No, do I have more? No. Yes? No? No, I did that a full sheet. I don't know what I'll put on top of it at this point. Okay, so then to do all the little pieces of scraps, oh, there's just like scraps here. So for this, let me go ahead and move these out of the way. I don't want to get everything all mixed up. Okay, so these are scraps, and it's one layer. It's not like I did one and then I did another and glued them together. It's just one layer. So what I did, I was very careful, but I took this, which is, you know, a long page from the book, and I made this the same size. And the way that I did that was I started just layering papers up. So I took, make sure you guys are in, and I found pieces. So like this one is double-sided, and then this one is also double-sided. I would cut it down so that like there wasn't a whole big white spot, and I just started layering up. This one is white on the other side, but you know, that was okay. I wouldn't have done such a big page, but I'm just going to give you an idea of what I was doing. Let's see here. Then I could do, you know, something like this. And then this is another, let me just cut that real quick. This one is a double-sided something. We'll put it up here. What? Well, this one's just white. I don't want to use such a big one. This one's just white. I wouldn't have done so much of the same color in one place. But do you see how? And so what I would do was I would get it done. I would take a picture of it, and then I would put glue right there. And then I would put it down, and I would just kind of go across the page, only putting glue in little places, putting glue here, here, and here, and putting it down. And I would just work across the page. So for instance, that's what I did to do this, and I would just work across the page. But because I was using both papers that were double-sided and coffee dyed papers and then white papers, it came out like that. So then if I turned this one over, it's not going to look real pretty because I didn't put that much effort into it. Let me see if it'll go. Nope, nope, it won't. But anyway, you get the idea. So then it would be kind of like this on the other side. Something. You know, we know what I'm saying? So then when you're all done, it's all glued together. Let's see if I can figure out how this goes back together now. And I think it's really stinking cute. So then this one It looks like that. You open it up, it looks like that. And you can always take and add things. If you find a place that you kind of think, I don't really like how that part turned out, you can add a piece just to kind of fill in where it's really white, you know, like right here or something. That would be a good place to use that. Same over here. So, or something like that, so that there's not as much if you don't like it, or like that. All right, so that is what I did with my scraps for this particular book. And then I have a digital that I will share with you. I haven't put any of them in there yet, but I have a digital I'll share with you that I'm going to be using to complete this journal. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're doing great. Thanks for checking on me, a few of you, and hopefully I'll be back to making some videos on a more reliable schedule. We shall see. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.